The New Jersey drone phenomenon. What is it all about? I've listened to countless interviews. I've watched countless videos. It's the flavor of the month right now. Everybody's talking about it. So let's break it down. But I just want to flush this out so to make sure we're all on the same page. Some people think it could be aliens. There have been a lot of reports, especially heavily coming out of New Jersey, of drone swarms. People seeing 50 drones, even more, sometimes less. Some of these drones are huge. Some people describe them as the size of SUVs. Some people say they're 6 feet. Some people say they're bigger. Some people say they're a little smaller. There's been a lot of discussion on what they could be. And I've seen anywhere from, are they aliens? Could it be an adversary towards the United States or an enemy? Could it be some new military tech that our government's using? So when you look at, you probably heard this, but I want to make sure we flush this out. You had a congressman say on Fox News that he had a real good source tell him that it was a mothership off the east coast of New Jersey, and they're letting drones out, and that's the swarm that you're seeing.
In focus now, Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, member of the House Judiciary Committee on the Hill right now. How do you address this at this point?
Well, here's the real deal, Harris. I'm also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee, and I've gotten to know people. And from very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyist or hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones should be shot down. Whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine or whether it is Iran, and I think it very possibly could be, they should be shot down. We are not getting the full deal, and the military is on alert with this.
Look, you've given us some pretty dire information just here, and I want to make sure that our viewers are digesting this. Iran has the capability to pull up along our eastern seaboard and launch drones the size of an SUV into the skies of several states, particularly New Jersey, where we know the incoming president has a large home, also in the same county or nearby where some of these drones in New Jersey have been seen. That capability exists. It's possible some of those drones are here.
The spokesman for the Pentagon denied it, said that isn't happening, and they don't have no credible evidence of something like that existing.
At this time, we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but, at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Can you rule out that these are American drones or U.S. military drones?
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
So inside of our own government, we're having two different conflicting reports. Okay. Now, if you go back about a month ago, I'm going to tie all this in, so bear with me, just hear me out. If you go back about a month ago, the President of the United States gave Ukraine permission to use attack of missiles to launch into Russia. Russia retaliated and launched. Some people said it was a new missile tech or ICBM, but it wasn't nuclear tipped, but it was hypersonic. And Russia wanted to show the world their capabilities, that these missiles could not be struck down by nobody, not even the most powerful army in the world, such as the United States. So I asked myself, does that have something to do with it, with these drones in New Jersey? It could be some new military tech. Russia is known to have something called a Poseidon torpedo, and it's a torpedo that they can launch underwater that's hypersonic, and it's nuclear tip. You wouldn't even see it coming. No way you can stop it. So is it some new military tech from Russia that may be sort of like a hypersonic torpedo that floats to the surface and lets out a swarm of drones, and that's what you're seeing flying? I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying there could be a possibility. Could it be our own government showing Russia that we have the capabilities of having something like that, and there's nothing Russia could do to stop our drone tech? Could it just be simply our government showing the world some new drone tech that we have to make them aware that we can launch this? We got capabilities of letting these things off in the air, and they're disappearing. When you come up across them, you bring up another drone, because you're hearing reports that other people have had drones and try to launch towards them, and it totally drains their power, cuts it out, and you can't even get another drone next to it.
My drone does not want to go up with these things around.
The battery's dead?
There's no way the battery's dead. It's fully charged.
It says 0. It won't let me.
What is going on? Okay, these are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and, like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down. The craziest thing. They will not fly. Like, it won't fly.
Right here over at Picatinny, there was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down, dead battery.
Hours earlier, I was invited to join the Ocean County Sheriff Department. They launched their own drones to see if they could intercept the mysterious aircraft New Jersey residents have been reporting in recent weeks. The department says these mystery drones evade detection because they don't give off heat like regular drones.
Why do you think that is?
We don't know. It's just something that we haven't, it's not something that we've had our hands on. It's not something that we've experienced.
Something they hadn't experienced until now.
So is that our government that's showing the world they have those capabilities? Or I think it's noteworthy to note that our southern border has been wide open for the past 4 years. So could it be some group from Iran or another country that we're enemies with inside of the United States launching these things at night? As far as we know, we don't have information. We're just going by what we hear, is that these drones are definitely military grade drones. You don't go down to your nearest Hobby Lobby and pick one of these things off the shelf. The technology and how big they are now. I mean, to know that maybe they're not as big as what they seem to be. Maybe they go up and there's some type of tech that make them appear larger than what they really are in the sky. Who knows? It could be some new tech or something. I'm just saying it's something to worth note. Maybe they're not even that big. Maybe they're just a regular drone and it's like a hologram, and it's making these things seem larger than they appear. Just like when you look in your mirror, objects may be closer than what they appear. Well, these objects might be smaller than what they appear. Okay, we're gonna flesh this out and we're going to get to the nitty gritty. I was just throwing out some possibilities. You can believe what you want to believe. But what I'm going to show you is something that's just is non-deniable. Okay. People have heard of Project, but it starts with blue. And you got your high beams and your low beams. If you don't know what that is, it's like our own government installing fear into its own people to bring changes. Now, we've seen when 9/11 happened, there was laws passed in a blink of an eye. It's funny how Congress can come together and all this. They don't agree, but when something needs to get passed to take more of our rights away, they come at a blink of an eye to sign this legislation, and little do you know, you lose more rights than your rights as a American citizen are getting less and less and less. So could it be something like that? You already heard.
And importantly, there are no reported or confirmed drone sightings in any restricted airspace. Now, that said, we certainly take seriously the threat that can be posed by unmanned aircraft systems, which is why law enforcement and other agencies continue to support New Jersey and investigate the reports, even though they have uncovered no malicious activity or intent at this particular stage. While there is no known malicious activity occurring, the reported sightings there do, however, highlight a gap in authorities. And so we urge Congress to pass important legislation that will extend and expand existing counter-drone authorities so that we are better prepared to identify and mitigate any potential threats to airports or other critical infrastructure, and so that state and local authorities are provided all the tools that they need to respond to such threats as well.
Could it be something as simple as that? It could be. We don't know. So where's all this going, folks? It's my belief, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. These people are trying to install fear in us, trying to scare us. I want to show you this. This is what I uncovered. We'll see. We'll just get to it right now. And I haven't heard one person, professionally or otherwise, talked about this. When we were going through the pandemic 4 years ago, 2018, I want y'all to watch this. Tell me if this sounds familiar.
Now to this story, the FBI, FAA, and U.S. Air Force are investigating a mystery in the skies over Colorado and Nebraska, where swarms of drones have been spotted, sometimes in formation. But who's flying them? Janet Shamlian with new clues tonight.
That's not a plane.
For the last week, Michelle Eckhoff has spotted a high-flying nighttime mystery above her rural northern Colorado home. Drones, sometimes a dozen or more with wingspans 6 feet wide.
The sky is lit up with Christmas lights, basically. There's lights and things flying all over.
Sheriff's departments across the border area of 3 states have been flooded with similar reports since mid-December.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
I think whomever is responsible for it will probably have a little bit of answering to do to the general public.
The military and local companies have denied responsibility.
There's one hovering over here.
We waited with Eckhoff until the sun went down and the skies lit up.
It's been dark for about a half hour, and we are seeing drones all over the sky. They appear as little twinkling lights. Sometimes there's just one, but in other cases, we've seen clusters of 6 or more.
Tonight, there are still more questions than answers, and residents are feeling vulnerable.
It feels like an invasion of privacy almost.
And a new development late today. One of the sheriff's offices says it is now looking for a closed box trailer with antenna or a large suspicious van, and is asking anyone who has seen it to call authorities. Nora?
All right, Janet, keep us posted.
There was another squadron of drones spotted flying over northeastern Colorado last night.
This time near Genoa, which is northeast of Lyman. Denver 7's Lance Hernandez is asking questions.
Drones are a topic of conversation in many small northeastern Colorado towns. The sheriff in Lincoln County pinpointing the area where a rancher spotted a squadron last night.
And said he observed anywhere from 5 to 10 drones over about a 25-mile square radius north in our county.
Sightings have also been reported in Phillips, Yuma, and Washington counties.
Honestly, when I first heard these reports, I thought maybe People were taking criminal activity high tech by stalking out properties.
The drones were apparently spotted flying here in northern Lincoln County, which is home to a giant wind energy farm. Now, none of the local residents out here wanted to talk on camera, but they did tell me they're curious what those drones are all about. So are residents in Lyman.
Maybe they have a infrared or something on them, because in my business we do solar farms, and they do infrared to see how hot the panels are getting.
The big concern, night flying. FAA rules limit drone flying to daylight hours, a half hour before sunrise to a half hour after sunset. That night flying concerning to Faye Venzel.
It's scary.
Why so?
Well, something's happening, and they should have notified someone.
I asked Amanda Brown if she's concerned.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know.
Townsfolk hoping whoever is behind the drones comes forward to put minds at ease. Lance Hernandez, Denver 7.
So there you go. Not only was there swarms of drones in the sky over the United States 4 years ago, you have the exact same month, December, a week before Christmas, 2 weeks before Christmas. What is it right now? A week or two before Christmas. Don't you find that odd that nobody's talking about? The three-letter agencies and the people from the Army or Pentagon or congressmen say that they don't have no idea what's happening. No idea what it is. All they know is that we're not in harm's way with it. You mean to tell me you can't remember that this happened 4 years ago? Like I said, people, I'm a news junkie. I remember this stuff. I remember I consumed so much news. And I remember reading about swarms of drones before seeing it. And I went back and I looked in the archives and old videos that I had, and I found this. And I'll link the description in the video. But these people are playing with us, man. Something is not right. They're not being truthful to us. It won't be the first time somebody in their government, it's people. But folks, something's going on. Now, do I know why they're doing this? I have no idea. I have my hunches in future videos that close to the channel. You know, I can lay out. I don't want to, the video is already long enough. I can make my best educated guess. I don't know for sure, but I got some pretty good hunches. On top of that, folks, it's the exact same time that these people in New Jersey are saying they're seeing the drones. They're saying they see them at dusk, at 6, 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock. They're seeing it from 6 to 11 themselves. Something ain't right, man. These people are trying to mess with us, man. These people are using military-grade psyops against their own people. I'm telling you, man. Why? I don't know. Probably to put fear in us. Because it just seems like whenever something like this happens, more of our rights get taken away. But I will tell you this. They're not being honest. They're sitting there saying people from the Pentagon, at all these agencies, Homeland Security, all these agencies are involved. And they can't sit there and tell us that this happened 4 years ago and what they did about it. It just simply quit being talked about. And I just find it odd that, okay, so we know we've seen drones in the past, but the same month, the same week, 2 weeks, the week leading up to Christmas, and if it doesn't get any weirder, the same time even? Nah, something isn't adding up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, yo. So, it's time to let that cat out the bag, y'all. I appreciate if y'all share this. If everybody out there, you listen to it, just like every YouTuber, you know, about 40% of you that come across my channel are actually subscribed to me. Just please consider subscribing to the channel. I put a lot of work and research into this stuff. And for those that know me and it's been around, I appreciate if you share this message around and give it a like. Helps my channel get out there to the world just a little bit more. It adds to the whole mystery of it all. Why they're doing it, I'm not really for sure. Like I said, I have my opinion on it, and we'll discuss it in future videos. So make sure you hit subscribe and hit that bell at the top so you're not left in the dark when we talk about subjects like this. I appreciate y'all. My name is Isaac. This is SE Wolverines. Have a great night. Thank you for clicking on the video, and God bless. SE Wolverines!